Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start the revision of chapter Issue of Shares. We discuss each and everything in the chapter, that what are shares, what is a company, what is the procedure of issuing the shares. You come to know what is the accounting treatment in case of public subscription, in case of issue of shares for consideration other than cash. So many aspects we have learned related to the accounting treatment of issue of shares, like share issued at par, premium and discount, calls in arrear, calls in advance, oversubscription, forfeiture and reissue of shares. Again, I want to tell you, as far as practical is concerned, one long 8-mark question with internal choice you will find in the paper. And I'm telling you in advance, in the September exam also, you find the 8-mark question that will be out of the last topic of the chapter. It is sure every time you will get the question, it is prescribed by the CBS. And moreover, the internal choice you will get also out of that particular topic only. What is the topic? Oversubscription, forfeiture of shares and reissue of shares. So as far as practicals are concerned, I have assigned you the homework for the day, that you have to complete your additional practicals of this chapter. And theory we are just going to discuss. As you find the 1-mark question, 20 question will be in your paper. But this time in September, you are getting the paper for 50 marks. So you will get the 10 questions carry 1 mark each. So it is very much compulsory to prepare the 1-mark questions as well as the basic knowledge, because unless we don't have the basic knowledge of the concept, we can't attempt the practical. Practical and theory just a complementary of each other. Without theory, you can't do practical, and without practical, you are unable to do the theory easily. But when you do the practical and then do the theory work, it will become very easy to do, because you understand the concept practically. So let's see what we have done in this chapter. We just learn about the company. So 2 essential features that you learn in the 11th class new study also of company are that it is an artificial person and it has a separate legal entity. If I talk about the private company, its feature, it is restricted to the right transfer of its shares, and it limits its member up to 200. And features of the public company are there is no restriction on transfer of its shares, and minimum number of member of its is 7, and there is no restriction on the maximum number. What is a share? Total capital of the company is divided in the unit, and the smallest unit, such as rupees 10 and 100 each, is called a share. And a company can issue its shares of 2 types. It may be the preference share or the equity share. Now, the preference share, which has the prior right of receiving the dividend at a fixed rate before any dividend is paid on equity share. And the company wind up, at that time they also have right of return of capital before the equity share. It means they have the priority right. Priority right, you understand? I hope you remember I have discussed while discussing the theory of this chapter in the beginning, when we did the issue of shares, that the preference shareholder has the priority right, while the equity shareholder has the voting right in the company's annual general meeting. Preference shareholder don't have any voting right, but they have the priority right. Priority right means they have right to get the payment prior to the equity share, whether it is of dividend or whether it is of capital at the time of wind up of the company. And if I talk about the equity share, these are the shareholder which are paid dividend only when the profits are left after the payment of fixed rate of dividend to the preference share. In other words, there will be no fixed rate of dividend on these shares. When the company is wind up, the company capital is returned only when the preference shareholder is returned in full. So if I talk about the different type of preference share, cumulative preference share, when the area of dividend is accumulated every year. it means the in any of the year the company are insufficient to pay the dividend on these shares, they keep the accumulating until it is fully paid. These are the cumulative preference share. But on the another hand, non-cumulative preference share are those holder which get a fixed amount of dividend of the out of the profits every year. No dividend is to be declared in any year due to any reason. Shareholder get nothing, means the dividend will not be accumulated every year. Moreover, they cannot claim for the unclaimed dividend paid if in any of the year. So in subsequent year they will not get. Participating preference shares are those shareholders in they will get the addition to the fixed dividend they carry to participate in surplus profit. They have a right if any dividend at a stipulated has been paid to the equity shareholder. Fine. Participating preference shareholder means all those shareholders, they will get in addition the fixed preference dividend, carry a participate in surplus profits. What do you mean by a non-participating preference share? Such shares get only a fixed rate of dividend every year and they do not have right to participate in surplus profit or in any surplus on winding up of the company. Those are known as the non-participating preference share. So who has the right of getting anything out of the surplus? They are the participating preference shareholder, and moreover who don't have supposed to get any right to get surplus profits, they are known as non-participating preference shares. Redeemable means which are to be repaid. Their capital has been repaid within a stipulated period accordance to the terms of the issue. And non-redeemable preference share, all those shares which cannot be refunded before winding up. At the time of winding up, only they get their money back. Convertible, the holder of these shares have right to convert their preference share into equity share at their option according to the terms of issue. But the non-convertible preference share are all those preference share which don't have any right to convert their shares into equity share. The capital is divided in different types. If you remember, that is your authorized capital, issued capital, subscribed capital, called up capital, paid up capital. So authorized capital is also known as a registered capital, nominal capital, or registered. Authorized, registered, or available. Three names are there. It means this is refers to the amount that is stated in the memorandum of association, and this is the amount that can be issued. A company is authorized to issue the shares during its lifetime. So authorized capital is the registered capital. A company can issue the value of up to this limit throughout its company. And subscribed means whatever the issued part of the capital is subscribed by the company is known as, and whatever the value is issued by the company is known as issued capital. So I want to repeat once again, whatever the value of the registered capital is authorized, whatever the amount of the capital issued to the public, that is your issued capital. The amount that is the part of issued capital which is subscribed for by public, that is known as the subscribed capital. And if I talk about the called up capital, see here example is also given to us. The portion of the subscribed capital which has been called by the company from the shareholder is known as a called up capital. For example, if the director call at the rate of 10 rupee per share, no, it is 60 rupees per share, out of 100 each, 10 rupees, 6 lakh will be called up, and remaining 40 rupees will remain uncalled up. If the company call 60 rupees from the shareholder, it means that 60 rupees will be considered as the called up capital, and the total value of rupees 6 lakh means 60 rupees into 10,000 shares, 6 lakh rupee will be known as the called up capital. What is meant by the reserve capital? According to the Section 65 Company Act, a company may be by a resolution determine that the portion of its uncalled capital shall not be up except in the event of winding up of the company. In such a case, portion of subscribed capital becomes reserve capital. and it is available for the creditors on the winding up of the. Is reserve capital is a part of unsubscribed capital? Yes. Whatever amount, like in the above example, if I talk in 18 question that 40 rupees, that is the uncalled capital, it will be a reserve capital because company can call this amount at any time, at the time of winding up or throughout the life of the company can call. Means this is the amount of the capital that company can make a call anytime till the closing of the company. So it is a capital that is kept in a reserve. That's why it is known as the reserve capital as well, or unsubscribed capital. So reserve capital is also a part of uncalled capital. And capital reserve means the reserve that is created out of the capital profit. So please don't create a mess. Don't get confused between reserve capital and capital reserve. Only these are two names where the words has been replaced, only reserve capital, capital reserve. Otherwise, they don't have any link. If I talk technically, if I talk conceptually, there is no link between them. Yes, both are related to the concept of issue of shares only. This is only the concept, but because capital reserve means if you sell your shares, that is your investment on a profit, that gain is a capital gain, and if you make the reserve of that capital gain, it is known as a capital reserve. Moreover, if you sell your land and make a reserve out of that, then will be also a capital reserve. So out of the capital profits, whatever the reserve is created by the company is known as a capital reserve. Reserve capital is absolutely related to the capital of the company. Means whatever the amount of the company that is uncalled is known as reserve capital. So please make the difference so clearly conceptually as well. What is meant by private placement of shares? Private placement of shares, as per the company section 42 Company Act 2013, private placement of shares means to issue and allotment of share to a selected group of persons. In other words, in case of private placement of shares, shares are not to be offered to the public in general through the public issue, but offered to a selected group of persons such as promoters, their friends, shareholders, or group concerned, mutual funds, non-resident Indians, financial institutes, etc. This is known as, and if you don't forget to recall the concept of lock-in period in case of private placement of share, there is a lock-in period of 3 years. Sweat equity shares. Sweat equity shares are those shares which are issued to the directors or the employees of the company at a discount or for a consideration other than providing know-how or making available intellectual property right. And ESOP means employee stock option. Employee stock option plan means it is the option granted by the company to the employee or the employee director to subscribe the share of the company at a price that is lower than the market price, but it is not an obligation employee to the subscribe for it. What are primary expenses? These are the expenses incurred to incorporation of the company. These are the expenses that is incurred prior to the incorporation of the company. What is meant by issue of shares at par? Shares are said to have been issued at par when an applicant has to pay equal to the face value of the share. Shares are said to be issued at par when an applicant has been paid equal to the face value of shares. Preliminary expenses appears in the balance sheet. How? Preliminary expenses are not shown in the balance sheet as per accounting standard. These are written off in the same year in which they incurred. These are to be written off out of the profit of the same year. Share issue expense, if you remember, we did in the first illustration. In first illustration, we come to know the share issue expense held there. First of all, we have to pay the share issue expense, and after that, in balance sheet, how it is to reappear. It is appear in the balance sheet under the head of the other non-current assets. How security premium reserve appears in the balance sheet? It appears in equity and liability side of the balance sheet as reserve and surplus. State the two purpose which security premium reserve can be of company: for writing of preliminary expenses or writing of commission allowed on issue of shares or debentures of the company, for issuing the fully paid bonus share to the shareholder of the company. Oversubscription, I hope you remember you did a practical topic that is very important of oversubscription. Shares are said to be oversubscribed when the number of share applied is more than the number of share offered to the public for subscription. For example, if a company has offered 1 lakh share to the public and public applied for 1,50,000 share, it is called a case of oversubscription. Profit is what is pro rata allotment of share when the issue is oversubscribed and company will have to allot the share on the pro rata basis, means proportionately. It means that smaller number of shares are allotted to the applicant according to the number of the shares applied by him. For example, in a case a company has offered 1 lakh shares to the public, but the public applied for rupees 2 lakh for 2 lakh share, the pro rata allotment will be made proportionately, that is 1:2. I'm not discussing it in such an elaborate manner because I have discussed all these terms already. We are just doing a revision. So if you have any doubts, please note it down. At the end of the session, we will discuss each and every query. Whatever the doubts you have, definitely we will discuss, because I elaborated each and everything when we did this chapter first time. It's a revision, that's why I'm just briefing all these concepts. Minimum subscription is a minimum amount which must be subscribed to the public. According to the Company Act, minimum subscription has been paid fixed at 90% of the issued amount. If this condition is not satisfied, company shall forthwith refund the entire application amount on the amount received. So what is minimum subscription? Amount of the minimum amount which must be subscribed by the public. And please underline, it should be 90% of the issued amount at least. And it can be more than this, but minimum it is required at least. What are the calls in arrear? If any shareholder has not been paid the amount of allotment of the call money company on the due date, then it is known as the calls in arrear. And the balance sheet calls in arrear is shown as a deduction from the subscribed but not fully capital on the equity share on the liability side of the balance sheet. And calls in advance refers to the amount which has been called by company but has been paid by some of the shareholders in the advance. And in company balance sheet, it is shown under the head of the current liability and subhead of other current liabilities. According to the interest on calls in arrear can be charged by a company according to table F of schedule 1st of the Company Act 2013. As per this, the interest is charged 10%. Please remember and underline, on calls in arrear the interest is 10%, while on calls in advance in question number 39 the maximum interest can be 12% per annum. A company can charge the maximum interest on calls in arrear, that is 10%, on interest on calls in advance, it is to be paid maximum 12% per annum. So please keep in your mind and underline. What is meant by issue of share for consideration other than cash? When the shares are issued under any of the circumstances to the promoters or any other vendor of the asset at the time of purchase of any asset, then it is known as the consideration. Then other consideration other than cash. What is meant by forfeiture of share? If any shareholder failed to pay the amount due on allotment or any other within the specified period, the director cancel his shares. This is called the forfeiture of share. So what is meant by the surrender of share is the voluntary return of the share by a shareholder for the purpose of the cancellation. That is the surrender of share. Please mark this question because the surrender has not been done practically by you. You don't have any practical related to this surrender, this aspect in your 12th class syllabus. So please mark it in the theory portion. What is the maximum amount of the discount which may be allowed on reissue of forfeiture of share? The amount credited to the forfeiture share. Sometimes they can just give you an example. The company has issued the share of such and such value, and the shareholder has paid up to this amount. Then how much can be the maximum issue price, reissue price? So in that case, you have to apply this concept and find out the amount. Most probably you will get that kind of share. How would you transfer the balance left in share forfeited account after the reissue of shares here? Reissue of such shares. Balance left in share forfeited account after the reissue of such share represent a capital profit which is transferred to the capital reserve account. What is the name give to the part of capital of a company which is called only on winding up? That is the reserve capital. Give the meaning of the subscribed and fully paid up capital when the entire face value of the share is called by a company and is also by the shareholder. It is said to be the subscribed and fully paid up capital. After that, some understanding based question. We have learned each and every concept up to that. Now understanding based question you have. After that, application based question. So many other questions you have. See, application based question are there. See, that I was discussing. A company forfeited 100 share, 10 each, issued at premium 20% for the non-payment of final call, including what is the maximum amount of discount these shares can be at the reissue? So it will be 7, because 12 rupees per share is that, and final call has not been made out of that. So now the company can give the maximum discount, that is 7 rupees, which is left over. So please keep these points in your mind. These kind of application based question definitely you will have in your paper. Minimum price of the reissue, maximum price of the reissue. Please do these two questions so thoroughly, 63 and 64, and identify the difference. See, in the sample paper as well as in CBSE you find these questions. So please mark these questions. I request to each and every student, please mark question number 63, 64, and all these are application based question you can say, because these are very much important from the examination point of view. Don't forget to practice these type of questions. After that, short term questions are there. You may find some filling the blanks as well. Filling the blanks, let's see what are given over here. Equity shareholder are dash of the company. Yes, everybody know they are the owners of the company. Preference shareholder are also the owner of the company. And then premium received on issue of share is shown on the dash side of balance sheet. Whatever the premium that is shown in the equity and ability. The liability of every shareholder of a company is limited. Share application is a dash account. Which type of account? Personal account it is. Minimum share application money is dash % of the 25% of the issue of shares. There must be an interval of at least 1 month between the two calls. According to table F, schedule 1 of the company 2013, interest on calls in advance may be at the rate not exceeding 12% per annum, and shareholders get the dividend. So this is all about for the day. We have discussed each and every basic concept of the company as far as theory is concerned. Practically we did it, and I have assigned you the homework to do the additional question. Feel free to send your queries if any of the question you find difficult to solve. So now I request sir to unmute the students and allow them to participate in the group discussion. Now we will discuss and have a feedback that it is understood by each and every student, or if they have any doubt, please raise your hand. I request each and every student, if you have any doubt, please raise your hand. Then, and we also change the settings. You can unmute yourself and feel free to ask your query. Yes, Lakshmi. Unmute yourself and speak your query with. Lakshmi, please speak. Kanika Vadwa, speak. Unmute yourself and then you can speak. I request sir to change the settings. Please allow the students to unmute themselves. Sir, I request you to allow the student to unmute themselves.